CRAWFORD.com.
But don't be late, we close at 8.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet, KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. It doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
At Valentino's, we're on a mission for tradition. On every slice, for every bite. Golden baked crust, cooked to perfection every time. Savory sweet sauce that's made from our own secret recipe. Loaded with the perfect amount of fresh toppings and melty mozzarella cheese. It's the tradition that Nebraskans have come to love. From game day to every day. Valentino's. Taste the tradition.
For remote starters, audio upgrades, and more, there's only one place to go. Auto Sounds of Lincoln at 48th and O.
This is the Adam Carriker Show.
Position right of the quarterback, out of the shotgun, 1st and 20. Jailbreak screen in the air. It is tipped. It is intercepted by Carriker at the Missouri 21-yard line.
Live from the heart of Lincoln, America, 8-year NFL vet and All-American defensive lineman Adam Carriker.
Shotgun snap to Everett. He's got the left arm going, and now he's got a whole lot of Adam Carriker who rips him down inside the 25-yard line.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here is your host, Adam Carriker.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is Michigan week. Jake, are you excited?
I've only been waiting for this for forever.
So are you more excited for this game than you were Houston Christian?
By a smidge.
I thought we were supposed to look ahead and look past opponents, Jake. I thought the next game was always the most important game, Jake.
Well, usually.
What a load of BS.
Yeah.
Michigan is a big deal. So here's the deal. Here's one of the things that I enjoy about, my God, what I do for a living, talking Husker sports. As a player and as a coach, what I just said is true. You don't talk about Michigan, although, let's be real, Matt Rule probably already had 95% of his game planning before he played Houston Christian, but you don't talk publicly about Michigan until after Houston Christian, because Houston Christian is the Super Bowl, then Michigan is the Super Bowl, then Michigan State is the Super Bowl. The next game is always the most important game. Now, coaches publicly look at it that way. Privately, they game plan differently, trust me. Players, that's how you have to look at it as a player. That's how you avoid letdowns. You stay consistent. In this job, hey, I was excited for Houston Christian, but not because I didn't know if we were going to win. By the way, I said 56-7. What was your score prediction?
I don't know if I landed on one, to be honest. I don't think I gave one.
So I was right and you were wrong.
Yes.
Basically, I was closer because you forfeited. We got to go through our picks today. Do you have the picks?
I do have
by
the
chance?
picks. Yeah.
We'll do that segment too. All right, we got a loaded show, ladies and gentlemen. If you can't tell, I'm a little bit excited to play Michigan, because in this job, I don't have to pretend like I get equally excited for every game. These aren't my children. I don't love them all the same. Now, you have multiple kids or just the one, right?
Just one.
You love them all the same when you have more than one, right?
I think that's the goal.
That's the goal. He didn't say yes. He said that's the goal. That's kind of like we want to be in Michigan. That's the goal. Nah, we love all our children the same, but it's hard not to get a little bit more excited in all seriousness for this week and frankly going forward. All right, Michigan, bye week, Michigan State, and then, man, Big Ten plays in full swing by that point. This is a potential statement game for Nebraska. I'm going to dive more into that. We got 2 hours. I don't want to blow the whole thing right off the top. We got a loaded show. We got 3 clips to play. Brian Kelly freaks out. Terrence Crawford is one of the GOATs, the greatest of all time. By the way, I got that one right. Who'd you take? You took Canelo, didn't you?
No, I didn't take Canelo. What right person in the right mind would take Canelo?
I don't know. You're Bad News Bach. I just assumed you took Canelo. I honestly don't remember who you took. Who'd you take?
I'm not sure if we officially predicted that either, but I'm sure I would have said Butter. Otherwise, I would have remembered it.
We did. We did. I think it was because we did our picks on Friday. We might have actually talked about it Thursday.
I think so. Yeah. I think
so. We had 10 college football games that we predicted plus Bud, which we both got right. I'm going to trust you with your word. Said you took Bud. I know I took Bud. I know he was the underdog. I don't know. This is going to sound so stupid. Canelo's one of the greats, right? Like unequivocally. What's his record? Like 62-3? I mean, that's insane. That is like the 94 through 97 Nebraska football team record. It's honestly not that far from that.
Yeah.
That's how insane that is. I can't get when he got destroyed by Floyd Mayweather 17 years ago out of my mind, mostly because that's the last fight of his I've seen. And I can't get that out of my mind. And you watch Bud Crawford. And I said going in, he's the better fighter. He's technically more sound. The only concern was him going up in weight. Like if Canelo had to come up to his weight, if Bud was bigger, I would have easily taken Bud. No disrespect to Canelo. I know that sounds disrespectful. It's not meant to be disrespectful. It's more complimentary to Bud Crawford. I still took Bud. And I did. I tried to take my Nebraska, rooting for Bud, fan hat off, my bias out as much as I could. And I was like, no, he's just the better fighter. If he comes in ready to go, he will win. Did you know? I felt like it was decisive in Bud's favor, by the way. Did you know he had to win the 11th and 12th round in order to win the fight? Did you see that?
I didn't know that, no. I got kind of from the broadcast, obviously, they were kind of scoring it along, not officially, and they were giving Bud a majority of the rounds.
Yeah, he had 8 of the first 11 rounds. And then obviously the fight was over. I don't think they told us what they scored the last round. 2 of the judges had it tied after 10 rounds, which blows my mind. One judge did have it in favor of Bud, but he had to win the last 2 rounds in order to win the fight, which he won unanimously. If you have ever watched the Bud Crawford fight, the argument was, oh, he's the champions of the Big East in football. The conference that doesn't exist anymore. He's really, really good, but who is he faced? That was always the argument. I'm not saying I agree with it. I was just like, 42 have tried now, 42 have fallen. And even going in, I'm like, just watch him and watch Canelo. They're both really good. If Bud comes in with a healthy amount of weight put on, because he had to go up in weight classes, and he comes in ready to go physically, which he wanted this fight. They went after Canelo. Like, we want to fight you. Canelo didn't pursue him. He pursued Canelo. And this is the biggest fight of your life. You can't tell me he ain't going to come in ready in shape. Nebraska people don't know any other way. And Omaha's own Bud Crawford ain't going to do it any different. Now, had Canelo won, it would not have been shocking or flabbergasting. But I picked Bud, and I was like, unless the size is just a gigantic issue, which was interesting because the announcers mentioned it. By the way, did Max Kellerman, who does a phenomenal job as a general whole, drive you nuts during the fight?
He seemed to be off his game.
Well, okay, was it just me, or was the entire fight, it felt like he was like, Canelo's better, Canelo's bigger. Bud's outboxing him, but how's he going to handle the size? How's he going to handle the power? Like, did you not feel that? And then when he interviewed him at the end, he almost seemed annoyed that he had to interview him because he ultimately was wrong about who won the fight. Is that just me? Did you feel that way at all?
No, I mean, I think that was part of the fight, though, is that, because I kind of, in prep for it, was a lot of people felt like, if this goes 12 rounds, the better boxer, as far as like scoring total, might be Bud Crawford. But that's what you kind of got to look out for is Canelo's power. I mean, because he can equalize it pretty quickly. That's what kind of surprised me when you say the last couple of rounds Bud needed to win, because it felt like, and Bud was ready to swing too. I mean, they were kind of swinging back and forth, but it felt like Canelo had to knock him out. I mean, had to go for the knockout punch to get the win in those final rounds. And for what it's worth, Bud kind of left it open a little bit. I mean, he was willing to go swinging with him as well.
So it was interesting. The first couple rounds were honestly pretty boring, but that's what happens when you're testing each other out and you're getting a feel for each other. The farther the fight went along, the faster the fists went and the bigger the swings were. And to your point, Bud could have gone conservative. When I saw that he had to win the last 2 rounds, I was at some point yesterday on Sunday, I about fell over. I was like, are you kidding me? I thought he literally just had to not get knocked down and he was going to win the fight. So to me, that was a surprise. But anyways, he wins the fight. He wins the last 2 rounds. I felt like Canelo, one of the greats, still Bud outboxed him decisively. And even at the end, I don't know if it's the smartest thing in the world, but I love it and I respect it. Bud was willing to swing with him. Now, you and I had a debate last week. Oh, first of all, I want to give a shout out to our sponsors. Because this show does not happen without you fine folks at home. This show does not happen without our business partners, sponsors, and good friends at Hamilton Telecommunications. The Hour 1 of the Adam Carriker Show is sponsored by Hamilton Telecommunications, bringing you the latest in quality technology and communication services since 1901. Learn more about their residential and business services at hamiltontel.com. It's hamiltontel.com. But you and I had a conversation last week about was it worth the risk that Bud was taking? Because what if you lose? You felt it would hurt his legacy. I felt the fact that unless he just got Canelo just wiped the floor with him, I was like, I was going to respect the fact that he tried, and to me, that would elevate him. I told you that day, my favorite thing that Tom Osborne ever did, and this is crazy, but I don't, with the exception of one time in my life, every time in my life I've had the option to go safe or to go all in and take big risk, I've gone all in. That's just me. It's just how I am. I would rather fail giving it my all than regret wondering if I could have done more later. Like, that's just always been me. I don't have FOF, fear of failure. I am terrified of not trying to begin with. That's me personally. So no matter what happened, and Bud wasn't gonna get destroyed by Canelo. That was never gonna happen. Barring that happening, no matter what happened, I was gonna either respect the fact that he tried and maybe it didn't work out, or he won. But you were concerned if he lost, it might hurt his legacy. Well, he won. Whether you think it was close, decisive, or whatever, he won. What does that do for his legacy, Jake?
Well, like you said, I mean, I think there's still kind of questions along the way about quality, strength of schedule, if you will. But now having beaten Errol Spence and now moving on to Canelo Alvarez, I mean, those gives you some big ones to work with. So it's huge for his legacy. Obviously, unifying the title's done something that nobody's ever done. He's willing to move up a few weight classes to go fight. I mean, he's right up there in rarefied air when we talk about the greatest boxers of all time. And when we do that too, again, now what's interesting is the future. He's 37 years old. What kind of comes out of this, and is he going to be one of the few that can retire undefeated? Kind of like Floyd Money Mayweather. So we'll see. But it's absolutely huge. And obviously, if you saw the difference between the purse that each one of them got coming into this boxing match, maybe there'll be an opportunity for him to kind of make more and kind of zone in now on being a prize fighter. But I'm not necessarily sure. I mean, I think it's interesting to see, and Max Kellerman asked both fighters right afterwards if this was their last fight. So it could be getting toward, that level, but man, we still got to get him one in Memorial Stadium, don't we?
Dude, if he ever fought in Memorial Stadium, it's like when you're trying to get tickets to a big time concert. If you love Taylor Swift, you'll get this. If you don't, I'm not a giant Taylor Swift fan, but her tickets go on sale. They're gone within like 10 seconds. Like, you have to be sitting there clicking the button as soon as they go live. That's how a Bud Crawford fight in Memorial Stadium would be. Now, the question is, would the nation perceive it as something they want to see? It's very regional, okay? And would someone want to come in and fight him in Memorial Stadium? Now, I would think the fact that you could probably charge just about anything you want and the tickets would sell out, which is going to create a gigantic purse. I think you could get somebody to come in. Okay. I think money at the end of the day is going to speak, as we know. And man, if you're Bud and you retire now, hey, you're going to go down as one of the GOATs. But let's be real. Now is when he can make the biggest money. Now he's a bigger draw than he's ever been.
Yeah.
So now it's what matters. Like, what does he want to do? He's 38. He's earned the right to do whatever he wants. If he wants to chill and just go down as a GOAT, hey, he can do that. And I'm sure he's doing well off financially. Seems like a smart dude. If he wants to go out and see what else he can do, who else he can fight, and what else can happen, I'm with you, though. How about two more? Get to 40-0. Easy for me to say as I sit here. And my feet dangle on this chair. My feet don't dangle on many chairs, by the way. That's how high up this thing is. Two more. Let's get to 40-0. Let's get him, make a bunch of money, but let's just make one in Memorial Stadium. Just one. You think Floyd Mayweather wouldn't fight? How close are they in weight class? I have no idea on this question, by the way. You think Floyd would come out, or does he just like want to fight like Logan Paul and guys like that now? Of course, he's up there a little bit, so I respect that.
He's 48 years old. So that is significantly heavy.
I mean, didn't Tyson just fight at like 92 or something?
He did. But then you get into the question of, if you beat a 50-year-old Floyd, is that the same?
Yeah, that's fair.
How much is that going
to
help your legacy?
10 years. 10 years is a lot. It's not like it's 20 or 30, though. Did Jake Paul, Mike Tyson, was that fight rigged? Let's settle that month-old debate or year-old debate now. What do you think? Was it rigged?
I don't know if I'd go with rigged. I don't.
Predetermined?
I don't.
Means the same thing, but a just different word.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
Uh-uh.
I have a hard time thinking they would convince Mike Tyson to go along with something that's predetermined. That being said, I don't know his financial situation. I know he's had financial issues in the past. Maybe money could talk, depending on what his financial situation is now. The thing that gives credence to it to me, I've never seen him bite his gloves like that, ever. Over and over and over in that fight versus Jake Paul. And to me, that's the one thing that gives it a little bit of credence. It's almost like he was trying to like a kid that's having a hard time dealing with something. You just start. And his response was biting the glove. He's never done that in any other fight. Not Holyfield's ear, but that was different. All right. Ladies and gentlemen on the text line, not should. We know should. He should. Will we ever have a Bud Crawford fight in Memorial Stadium? Let us know. Yes or no. What's that number, Jake?
402-464-5685.
By the way, I say yes. There's just too much. Like, Bud loves Nebraska. He reps it everywhere. And there's just too much money that could be made. So I'm going to say yes, but let us know. Do you agree? And was Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul rigged? We just want to know. We want to settle the debate now.
I think Jake Paul could have swung harder toward the end, if that's what you're saying.
No, I'm saying I think Tyson held back.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
No, not the other way around. I think Tyson held back, which is why he kept biting his gloves. You'll see as you get older, kids do funny things when they have to do things they don't want or they're not used to. That's what Tyson reminded me of in that fight.
It was very strange. By the way, shout out to Netflix. It was a much better experience this time.
My wife goes, it's on Netflix, and all she could talk about was Tyson Paul and how that was a nightmare. This was phenomenal. I had no issues. Did you have any issues?
No, I didn't.
No, Netflix was great. Much better. Hey, all we can do is strive to get better every day, Netflix. Hand clap to Netflix. All right, Bud Crawford, one of the GOATs. You got any final thoughts on this? Anything off the text line real quick there, Jake?
A few different thoughts here. Bud is 42-0. Unmasked texter says Tyson.
42. Why did I think 48? I think because you said 48 for
Mayweather.
Yeah. Sorry. Let's get the 40. Let's get to 45-0. Let's get to 40. So 3 more. Okay, Bud? I'll just volunteer you for 3 more fights. Sorry. Go ahead, Jake. Sorry.
Old Dad 34 says Tyson fight was rigged for sure. Austin Hansen says we owe Bud. I still credit him for the Colorado win.
I like it.
Scrapper says, let's have a Bud fight in Memorial Stadium, but every card has the Nebraska fighter on it. That'd be interesting. Might be tough to fill.
I was going to say, that might be a little too regional. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Garage Jeff says, I think Tyson could have knocked him out, so he's with you there. And Jesse the Plumber says, I'm pretty sure there were things in the contract that Tyson could not throw uppercuts or knock Paul out. I don't know how official that is. So I have to look into that. And then a couple other thoughts, that Tyson held back.
All right. What was interesting to me was as you watched the fight, like I said in the beginning, it was, let's be honest, it was boring, but they were feeling each other out. It's almost like the first quarter of a football game where it's like blasé. Of course, nowadays, I'm thinking back to when I was a kid. Nowadays, you got the first 16, and those are some of the most fire plays you'll see all day because coaches and teams come in ready to go. But as the fight progressed, man, by the end, it was one of the more entertaining fights I've seen in a while. But you could just see, as the fight went along, you could see Canelo, like, Mayweather's always said that there's no Da Vinci Code I can't crack in that ring. And it was like you could see Canelo couldn't handle this Da Vinci Code. And you could see Bud smiling. And you're like, oh, one dude's got the mental edge. One dude feels confident and good. The other dude's a little frustrated right now. Although, did you see after the fight, Canelo brought his kid over. He handed him the belt. Yeah. Like, Bud took a picture with it. Like, Canelo, dude, what a great sport, man. All-time great fighter, great champion. Handled himself with class afterwards. I actually became a bigger fan of Canelo Alvarez after that.
Yeah, no, I can agree. It was really good. Again, the most distracting part of the post-fight was Max Kellerman's questions and the pacing of them. But, it was awesome. And, of course, like you said, Nebraska well represented. I think all of or most of the entourage that came in with Bud Crawford had Nebraska hats. He saw some like 95 Husker jerseys and stuff like that. So Very, very cool time and awesome for anybody that was able to stay up. Again, that's the one thing in boxing. I know some people didn't quite make it to the end of the fight.
I saw some tweets from people I know. The fight still won't start for like 2 hours. It probably still won't start for like an hour. Because my wife was going to stay up and watch it. I was like, do you not remember how boxing works? Like, that main event may not start till midnight. I think it was like 11:20. I was like, oh, I'll take this. It'll be done by like 12:20, something like that. I'm not going to lie. I was tired on Sunday. I stayed up and watched it. I recorded a little reaction afterwards. I think I put it out like 1:30 in the morning.
I was flipping back and forth between that and Cal and Minnesota because they played pretty late.
They did. I didn't watch that game at all. I was way more interested in Bud's fight. What happened with Cal, Minnesota?
Cal beat Minnesota.
Really?
Yeah.
That's surprising.
TJ Fleck's not always great in the non-con.
I've noticed that. It's hard because I want Minnesota to do good just simply because I want the Big Ten to look good, but I also want PJ Fleck and Minnesota to lose. So it's a little bit of a catch-22 there. All right, my man. Oh, we have a clip. A short clip. This was part of the message that Terrence Crawford had to the Nebraska football team when he spoke to them before the Colorado game. By the way, I'm going to highly advocate that Bud leads this out against Michigan on Saturday. I'd be surprised if he doesn't at this point. Yeah. You saw Rule and Dannon were there, right?
Oh, yeah. Rule and his chains.
Dude.
Those chains look nice on him.
Dude, he's gone from 1 chain to 2 chains. He's going to be Mr. T before the season is over with all the chains he's going to have on. He had the bright red coat on. Matt Rule was styling, man.
I love Matt Rule's. Matt Rule's just changed from when he started at Nebraska. He didn't want cameras around. He didn't want any celebrity coaches. Now he's like turning into the biggest celebrity coach he can. And, of course, cameras are everywhere.
Is this the same Matt Rule? Did Matt Rule get abducted and get replaced with an alien version of Matt Rule? Is there really Deion Sanders inside of Matt Rule controlling him like a cartoon? Is that what's going on? I'm not making fun of him. I actually like it. It's Matt Rule looking around from when he first got here. I'm going to build things this way. Okay, now I've got to adjust to this a year or two in. This is how I'm going to recruit. Okay, now I've got to adjust to this. This is how I'm going to attack the transfer portal. All right, now I'm going to attack it this way. And it's not that he had the complete wrong blueprint when he first got here. It's honestly, look at how much college football has changed since he first got here. It is drastically different. Every time I turn around, he is doing, like, one of the things that Osborne did so well. I'm not saying Matt Rule's Tom Osborne. He may be in 20, 30 years, but I'm not saying he is yet. One of the things Osborne did so well, he was always ahead of the curve. He was always innovative. Husker power does not happen unless Osborne goes to Devaney and says, we need to hire Boyd Epley as our strength coach. Devaney says, sure. If it doesn't work out, you're both fired, by the way. Did you know that? That's what Devaney said. If it doesn't work out, you're both fired. Because at the time, lifting and athletics was thought to be a bad thing in the mid to late 60s because it would make you stiff. That's what they thought. And Osborne was ahead of the curve in so many things he did. If anybody thinks we just ran the power game and option, you don't truly understand how complex. It was insanely simple for the offense, but insanely complex for the defense to defend. The way they would block things, the way they would change up a motion or change up an alignment or change up just little things would change the entire thing for the defense. I mean, I've shared this before, but Amon Green, before the Colorado game in Boulder, Osborne told him, hey, we're going to tweak this one way we block this. We're going to run the first play of the game. You're going to take it to the house for the touchdown. And then it happened. It was like a 50-yard touchdown option to the left. So I've shared this before, but Rick Neuheisel was the Colorado coach. Okay. We interviewed him a year ago at Big Ten Media Days. So last time it was in Indianapolis. He talked about that very play. He said there was nothing special about it. We just didn't play it well. And I'm sitting there trying not to laugh at him because I know very well that the blocking was different and he had no idea. Hey, all due respect to everyone with a microphone in front of their faces just like us, but maybe there's a reason he's not coaching anymore.
Hey,
I know.
I'm a big Rick Neuheisel guy.
You are?
Well, I mean, from hating him as a child, yes. When he was at Colorado.
I understand that the ticket has a great relationship with him, so I'll keep my opinion to myself. It goes back to my recruiting days, and frankly, it goes back to the way he conducted himself that day when we interviewed him.
Wow.
I did not take kindly to his lack of decor on that particular day. I've never said that publicly before. We'll keep a good relationship with Rick Neuheisel, so I shall keep my opinion to myself beyond what I've already shared. But my point is this. Matt Rule, every time I turn around, he's doing something that nobody else is doing. Whether you like it or not. He was the first guy to get rid of the spring game officially, or one of the first. People hated on it, and then all of a sudden a bunch of people did it. Now, I'm glad it's going to be coming back. We haven't gotten an official word, but it better be coming back. He's the first guy to start a podcast. Do you like it or not? He's willing to try new things. He's willing to be ahead of the curve. I love that he's on Pat McAfee every week, but how do you convince them? Like, why the Nebraska head coach? Nick Saban's the only other guy I've ever seen be on Pat McAfee every week. As much as I love Nebraska football, are we in the same conversation as Alabama when they had Nick Saban? How did he convince them to do that? And he said Pat asked him, which I'm like, that's awesome if that's true.
Well, again, I think it partially goes back to the fact that he's fantastic with a mic in front of his face. He's really good speaker in general.
That he is. He would have made a great WWE promo, by the way. I think. All right, we better go to break. We've got a visitor at the moment. Do you want us to go to break or wait, DP?
We can hold it 60 seconds.
Okay, we'll hold it.
I need to bring this young man in, and I need for him to tell his story because
I know Dave. It's nice to meet Dave Dahl.
Dave, let him know. I want you to hand it to Adam when you're done.
Okay.
All right, we have a visitor. Go ahead, Dave.
I got an autographed football from the 1982 Husker team.
Nice.
A friend of mine, my ex-wife, her husband was third string safety on the team, and we played volleyball together with his wife, co-ed. And I asked him if I could just sign an autograph for my dad for Christmas. And so he did it it took him the whole year to do it. And I got everybody to sign it.
Awesome.
And Rozier signed where the coaches signed.
Yeah.
He goes, you idiot. But I wanted to donate this to you guys.
Oh, very cool. Very cool.
82.
Thank you, sir.
If it won the championship, it'd be worth more money.
We won't talk about the out of bounds play that was in bounds or out of bounds or whatever.
We missed a 2-point conversion in Miami.
Oh, okay. That season. Okay.
Game.
All right. Well, I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
No problem.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, DP. Appreciate it. Nice to meet you, Dave.
You too.
Yeah. All right. That was very cool. I love that you never know what's going to happen. The show's truly live. People walking in all the time. We've had a couple of random visitors over the past couple of years. All right. And I always enjoy it. And this is a ball. He said 82. He must have meant 83, the year we went for 2. Which, by the way, I started to talk about that earlier, but Osborne going for 2 is, and I got sidebarred. It's sometimes happened with me. My favorite thing he ever did was go for 2 in that Orange Bowl, even though it didn't pan out. If it had panned out, dude, that'd be the most epic play in the history of college football. All right, we better go to break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
If one of the things running through your mind as a business owner is the recurring worry of possible cyber attacks, you can let out a sigh of relief. Hamilton Business Technologies has you covered. As the official business IT partner of the Huskers, we offer real-time threat monitoring, advanced security protocols, and more to keep your data safe from harm. We care about the success of Nebraska businesses and communities like yours. Learn how we can help you at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
I'm Kirk Herbstreit, and today I'm eating Raising Cane's. I want a solid bench of 4 chicken fingers, crinkle-cut fries with Texas toast. Now back to you, Todd.
So the usual.
Make Raising Cane's part of your game day lineup.
This is your year, where your team takes it all the way. Win way more than bragging rights at Warhorse Casino, where your love of the game could put $1 million in your pocket. The Pro Football Frenzy is free to play with prizes all season long. Weekly cash prizes up to $1,000 cash, season-long leaderboards, and a chance to win $1 million. Only at Warhorse Casino. Wagers may only be placed on Nebraska-based teams when played outside the state of Nebraska. Must be 21 or older to gamble. Gambling problem? Call 1-833-BET-OVER.
At Valentino's, we're on a mission for tradition. On every slice, for every bite. Golden baked crust, cooked to perfection every time. Savory sweet sauce that's made from our own secret recipe. Loaded with the perfect amount of fresh toppings and melty mozzarella cheese. It's the tradition that Nebraskans have come to love. From game day to every day. Valentino's. Taste the tradition.
Harvest season is here, and Acres has discounted many of our late model John Deere combines. Get thousands in discounts and upgrade now. Plus, you could save even more with interest rates starting as low as 1.9% on select units. Low interest rates combined with our huge discounts, there's not a better time to buy. Visit acres.com for all the details. That's AKRS.com. Restrictions apply. Offer ends September 30th, 2025. Subject to approved financing. Offer may change at any time without notice.
Empire Netting and Fence delivers top quality netting and fence solutions. From major sports venues to backyard installs and everything in between, coast to coast. We take on tough jobs with grit, integrity, and a strong commitment to safety. Empire is growing, and we're hiring motivated people ready to grow with us. We build each other up, and we're building something big. Think you've got what it takes? Apply now at empire-fence.com. That's empire-fence.com.
Big news, Nebraska! Love Omaha is now Love Nebraska. This is more than just a new name. It's a tribute to what Nebraska represents in the world of volleyball. It's still the same team with the same mission, led by players you know and love. Now backed by a new ownership group led by Jordan Larson. As Love Nebraska, they're entering an exciting new chapter, pushing for a championship title in 2026 and building new opportunities for the next generation of players across the state. They want you with them. Let's show the world how Nebraska plays volleyball. Join the movement at lovneb.com and sign up to become a Love Nebraska Insider today.
Did you know that deer collisions are covered under the comprehensive portion of your car insurance? That means, like with hail damage or vandalism, since they are out of your control, they don't usually raise your insurance rates. And that's a good thing, since most deer don't carry liability insurance. At Eustace Body Shop, we fixed all kinds of animal collision damage, from cows to raccoons, bobcats, and even turkeys. We can't do much for the animal, but we can get your car back on all fours and looking like new again.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
Shopping for new flooring is different today. Getting your questions answered, making the right selection, getting the best value, and installed quickly and professionally. Visit ostreetcarpet.com or shop our store. We'll answer all your questions and help you make the right choice. You'll be enjoying your new floor in just days for less than you'd pay elsewhere. Carpet, vinyl, wood, laminate, tile, and area rugs. We've got it all.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. It doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
Tune in every Saturday from 12 to 2 p.m. for the Law of Lift with Dr. Lawrence Chatters. Sit back and enjoy listening to Dr. Chatters discuss real stories involving struggle, inspiration, and real-life experiences with special guests and insights. Remember, the higher the pressure, the greater the lift. It's the Law of Lift with Dr. Lawrence Chatters every Saturday from 12 to 2 p.m. right here on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC. This month kicks off Koppel's 50th anniversary sale. We're celebrating 50 years by offering an additional $500 discount to the next 100 customers that buy a new vehicle. This is in addition to the huge savings already in place. You can take an extra $500 off our discounted price, or we can cut you a check on the spot. Celebrate with savings and see why customers have trusted Koppel since 1975. It's our way of saying thank you for all these years.
When the clock strikes 0 after every Nebraska football game, there's only one place to go for instant coverage. Tune in for the Husker After Party Postgame Show on 93.7 The Ticket for each game, win or lose. Call in with all your takes or text the show at 464-5685 and hear quotes from the players and coaches too. It's the Husker After Party Postgame Show. Sponsored by Anderson Ford and Vinnie Krekak of State Farm Insurance. This is the Adam Carriker Show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Adam Carriker Show here on 93.7 The Ticket. As a former Husker and NFL player, I'm a bit of a health nut. Hydration and recovery start at home. That's why I teamed up with Culligan of Lincoln. Soft water means better showers, cleaner dishes, and it protects my water heater and appliances. Their high efficiency softener cuts salt, and water usage. For drinking, I added a Culligan reverse osmosis bottled quality water right at my tap. Great taste, and it's certified to reduce tough contaminants like lead and PFAs. Right now, get up to $300 off a whole home system, or $9.95 a month is the low cost for your first 3 months. Schedule your free water test at CulliganHuskers.com. That's CulliganHuskers.com. Culligan of Lincoln, water you love. Go Big Red. All right. I kind of went all over the place that first segment. I started to talk about Osborne going for 2 and then almost forgot to come back to it. Talked about a whole bunch of things. Alluded to a clip of Bud Crawford that we never played. Is there anything off the text line? Let's go off into the weeds again, and then we'll come back to the Bud Crawford clip.
Just a few thoughts here. Again, someone agrees with us. The only problem Netflix call was Max Kellerman's ignorance on boxing. So Max Kellerman was the only real loser of the fight.
So, well, I agree with that. Well, I do agree with that. He doesn't have boxing ignorance. He's actually highly intelligent. But it's like, okay, I actually genuinely like Kirk Herbstreit. But he has absolutely been influenced by the ESPN SEC network that he works for. So it's like someone like Kirk Herbstreit going on air after the college football playoff games last year, where certain teams got blown out, and him talking about basically the record doesn't matter. Who you beat doesn't matter. We need to put the best teams in. In other words, our opinion matters more than what actually happened on the field in the regular season. The problem is all the teams he was hinting at lost, from Alabama to South Carolina, etc. in the bowl games. That was Max Kellerman. He can't handle Canelo's power. How's he going to do it? Just watch out. He's outboxing him, but no, Max Kellerman knows what he's talking about. Now, I don't think he was influenced by Netflix. I could be wrong. He was just stubborn as all get out in his prediction, and it infiltrated everything he said to, through, and after the fight. That's my take on it. What do you think, Jake?
I can't say too much about during the fight. I guess I wasn't listening to too much of the call. I should say. I mean, like I said, it's kind of flipping back and forth. But for me, it was just the post fight where he just seemed to be a little bit off. Again, I don't know what that was. He's part of the way he kind of made his way up through ESPN was boxing, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, that was so. He is a boxing guy, but even his questions were just kind of like. They're just kind of weird. It's like, well, you lost the fight, or are you as good as you once were? It's just kind of like, dude, just let me breathe here for a second. I don't need to reflect back on 10 years ago.
Do you think Stephen A. Smith got him fired off First Take on ESPN? Do you buy into all that hoopla? What do you think?
I have to go back and remember the details of all. I don't remember, but I do remember that being a thing.
I don't watch First Take anymore. It kind of became, I don't know. It was kind of ridiculous in my opinion. That's just my opinion. But the last time I watched it, and I watched Max debate Stephen A., I consistently thought he was out debating him and making better points. If you don't know what I'm talking about, don't worry. It's unnecessary, national sports ESPN drama that really is irrelevant. But it was funny because Max called the fight, and they announced Stephen A. Smith in the crowd. And as they're announcing him, I'm like, I wonder what Max is thinking right now. That dude got me fired, if that's what happened. All right, anything else off the text line?
Also, people are interested. Says 1922 says UCLA needs a coach. Also, 0778 pointed out PJ Fleck is rumored to be among UCLA's top choices for new head coach. Thoughts?
Do you want, okay, in all seriousness, is UCLA a good job? Chip Kelly left to be an offensive coordinator. By the way, what's happened to Chip Kelly since he left UCLA? Won a national title as an OC at Ohio State, and now is the highest paid, $6 million a year, offensive coordinator in the entire NFL. What's happened to UCLA since? Brought in a legend, a guy who'd never been a coordinator as their head coach. Decent first year. Yeah. And then 3 games in, he's fired after they get mollywopped by a bunch of G5 teams. By the way, who won the Nico Iamaleava, Joey Aguilar trade? Not even close.
Yeah, it's over now.
Huh?
It's basically over now. 3 games in, it's already written.
It's not even close. And I'm willing to bet, I don't know this for a fact, I'm willing to bet UCLA paid more for Nico than Tennessee paid for Joey. And I know they lost to Georgia on Saturday, but what a great game. Did you watch that game, Tennessee,
game of the
Georgia?
Year so far, yeah.
Dude. And Joey played well. You put up over 40 points on Georgia, you played well as a quarterback. That was a great game. That was a phenomenal game. I had a hard time. I was rooting for Georgia simply because I wanted to be right because I picked Georgia, and I'm stubborn like that. But I had a hard time not rooting for Tennessee because I actually wanted them to win. But I wanted to be right more, so I was rooting for Georgia. All right, let's play the Bud Crawford clip before I completely space that off, and then we'll proceed with the show.
Say, diamond shine. Why? Because I'm from Nebraska. I'm from Nebraska. What comes out of Nebraska? That's what they say. Diamond shine anywhere. Make a believe.
It don't have to be a long clip. Diamonds shine anywhere. What comes out of Nebraska? People say not much. I don't even get offended by that anymore because I've heard it so much. And I also think it's, Jake, say it with me, not ass a 7, not ass a 8. It's ass a 9. Like, seriously. That's the perception, okay? And what's the saying that Rule's been saying and Bud would say, anybody can be a nobody? Which I think is why he went after Canelo. Anybody can not go after Canelo. Anybody can be a nobody. That's why he wanted the fight. You want to do something different, you got to be willing to do what other people aren't willing to do, and that's what he did. And he's proud to rep Nebraska because nothing and nobody comes out of Nebraska except corn, right, Jake? Just
That's
corn.
right.
All right. I want to get to the picks. That wasn't what we had next on the doc. I just want to get to the picks. I don't know how I did. Like, I don't know actually how many I got right. I just feel like I did good. Okay, so you're 4-6 so far. I'm 4-6. Let's go through this game by game. And let's celebrate if I come out ahead, and we'll move on if you do. All right, what do we got? Well, first of all, we both got Bud right. So that makes us 5-6. Okay?
Okay.
We're going to count that.
we need it. We can use it. So then our other 10 games, we'll start with let's see, there was 2 that we both should I start with the ones that we both missed?
Sure. Just start with that. Get out of the way.
So we both picked UCLA to beat New Mexico. I didn't see it coming.
That game wasn't even close.
Yeah.
Like, wow.
And I was frustrated because I was going rooting for the upset somewhat. And New Mexico had the lead. They were up 14-7. It's like 30 seconds left in their first half. It's like 3rd and goal or whatever. They go for it. 4th and goal, they go for it. It's like, dude, just take the two possession lead in the half. What are you thinking? It worked out for them.
They won 45-10. I think it worked out all right.
It did, but at the time I was like, man, you're going for an upset on the road. I don't know about that.
All right, just call us Scott Frost because we're both 5-7 right now. That was so unnecessary. I apologize. Is he 3-0 down at UCF?
2-0.
All right, congrats.
North Carolina this week.
Ooh, Frost and Belichick.
That's right.
Coaching matchup of the century. What's next?
We also both picked Minnesota, and they lost to Cal.
All right. Thanks a lot. Ankles with no socks, or what is it? Dress clothes with no socks. All right, here we go.
All right, let's go to the Friday night game. We both picked Houston to beat Colorado. That happened.
Ooh.
Houston won 36-20.
Dude, are you okay? I think everyone knew Colorado wouldn't be as good. You don't lose a Heisman Trophy winner and a first-round talent at quarterback without regressing a little bit. Are you surprised Colorado's in the spot that they are? 2 losses already. Did not look good against Houston. Are you surprised? Are you concerned for them at all, Jake?
Well, I'm not concerned for the Buffaloes. But, I mean, especially, hot potato at quarterback. I just don't know. I mean, there's things that Deion has done that have worked out. A lot of that, Heisman Trophy winner and a top 10 quarterback, whatever way you feel about him, one of the top 10 quarterbacks in college football last year is going to help. But I just wonder if the overcoaching, the overmoves, trying to do everything different, eventually is going to catch up to him.
So you're not surprised?
I'm not particularly surprised.
I'm not either. Go ahead. Next.
And I think it also has, I'll go. So Arizona and Kansas State. You picked Arizona. I thought Kansas State could come back. Kansas State is legit bad this year if you watch that game. 23-17, Arizona wins. K-State has some couple big plays, but they can't get anything going.
All I heard was I'm now 7-8 and you're 6-9. That's all I heard.
Well, that's true.
Selective hearing, just like my kids.
We'll go to the Georgia-Tennessee game. We talked about that. You predict the Bulldogs. I predicted Tennessee to finally get the win. 44-41. Tennessee had it lined up with that field goal. Were you nervous?
I absolutely was nervous. But again, I was torn because I really wanted it to go through. I just wanted it to be right as well. So either way, I was going to be happy, and either way, I was going to be unhappy. It really didn't matter, but it was such a great game.
LSU beat Florida. We both predicted that. LSU media not happy. We'll get to that later in the show with the victory.
Should we just roll the clip now of Brian Kelly?
We can.
Let's roll that clip. We'll pause. We'll play the clip of Brian Kelly, who just loves people in the media, so I guess.
Post-game sessions, but what are you seeing with your offense?
Stop. Really? Is that the first question?
Brian in the back. I know you love these immediate post-game sessions, but what are you seeing with your offense?
Stop. Really? Is that the first question? We won the game 20-10. Try another question. What do you want me to tell you? I just laid it out for you. We played the game to win the game. We played the game to win the game.
All right. How about third down then? What is going on with third down?
It's one game. Last game, we were great on third down. You're looking at this from the wrong perspective. LSU won the football game. Won the game. I don't know what you want from me. What do you want? You want us to win 70-0 against Florida to keep you happy?
No, I think people want to know why you can't run the ball, quite honestly.
We can run the ball. Did you see the last play of the game? That's all you need. You just need one. There's a ridiculous questions. And I'm getting tired of it. That football team just worked their tail off to get an SEC win, and you want to know what's wrong. You know what? You're spoiled. You're spoiled. This team is 17-1 at night. 17-1. Give them some respect. How about that? Give them some respect instead of micro-analyzing every little thing. This is ridiculous. For a group of seasoned reporters, that kind of question is so out of line.
Should we respond when we come back from break, or you want to go right into it?
We better take a break.
All right, we'll respond when we come back from break.
Go Hog Wild Pit Barbecue.
It's $5.99 barbecue time. Hurry to Hog Wild for a complete barbecue meal that's only $5.99. Get a one-meat sandwich loaded with our award-winning barbecue, plus your choice of a classic side and drink for just $5.99. Upgrade your sandwich to beef brisket for just $1 more. Join us for lunch or dinner in Lincoln at 3210 Cornhusker Highway. Order online at GoHogWild.com.
But don't be late, we close at 8.
What's it take to be a mentor with big brothers, big sisters? It takes 30 minutes and a cup of coffee. A video game, best 2 out of 3. It takes sharing thumbs up emojis, clapping emojis, and loaded nachos at halftime. That's how you make an impact on a young kid's life. So go on, share a few hours a month, because mentorship may sound huge, but the truth is, it takes little to be big. To learn more, volunteer, or donate, go to BeBigNow.org.
At CHI Health Clinic, we believe healthcare should be personal because knowing your provider personally makes appointments more comfortable, more productive, and more meaningful to your overall health. Get matched with a primary care provider based on your personality and lifestyle using CHI Health Clinic's My Provider Match. Take the survey at myprovidermatch.com to find the right provider for you. Getting healthier starts by getting personal at CHI Health Clinic.
Empire Netting and Fence delivers top quality netting and fence solutions. From major sports venues to backyard installs and everything in between, coast to coast. We take on tough jobs with grit, integrity, and a strong commitment to safety. Empire is growing, and we're hiring motivated people ready to grow with us. We build each other up, and we're building something big. Think you've got what it takes? Apply now at empire-fence.com. That's empire-fence.com.
Imagine starting your day with a computer glitch that leaves you feeling stuck, frustrated, and unable to get your work done. You have 1,000,001 things to get done today, and waiting for the tech issue to solve itself isn't one of them. It's time to let Hamilton handle the tech so you don't have to. We help businesses across the state spend more time on what they do best and less time frustrated with office technology. As the official business IT partner of the Huskers, we're focused on providing custom solutions that set you up for success now and in the future. Connect with us today at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Oh, Kansas.
Here we go. Second half today.
You just don't stop giving, do you?
Green flag, we're underway.
The closest finish in NASCAR Cup Series history. Close to downtown, amazing campgrounds. 3 NASCAR races in one weekend, and it's the playoffs.
God can't drive.
Now you're just showing off. But we're not mad. In fact, we're looking forward to it. NASCAR Playoffs Weekend at Kansas Speedway, September 26th through the 28th. Get your tickets now at kansasspeedway.com.
Farmers know it all starts with the soil. At Carbon Connections, they're helping you unlock its full potential. Their high-quality humic acid improves nutrient uptake, boosts root development, and enhances soil structure, so your crops get more from every acre. It doesn't stop there. With a full lineup of crop protection products, they help you reduce synthetic inputs while protecting yields and profits. Smarter inputs, healthier soils, better returns. It's time to grow more naturally. Visit Carbon Connections on Facebook or call them today at 402-947-1476 to learn how they can help your farm thrive. Carbon Connections, unlocking your potential.
Shopping for new flooring is different today. Getting your questions answered, making the right selection, getting the best value, and installed quickly and professionally. Visit ostreetcarpet.com or shop our store. We'll answer all your questions and help you make the right choice. You'll be enjoying your new floor in just days for less than you'd pay elsewhere. Carpet, vinyl, wood, laminate, tile, and area rugs. We've got it all.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
This is the Adam Carriker Show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Boom! Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Adam Carriker Show, where we do not have a case of the Mondays. Good gracious Lord Almighty, it is Michigan week, and Brian Kelly was not happy before we went to break. My favorite part. So first of all, Brian Kelly, all right, so I'm going to go back. The reporter's like, I know this is going to make you mad, basically is what he says. And then he asks the question that's going to make him mad. Brian Kelly gets mad. My favorite part is that the reporter just keeps firing at him. Well, what about the run game? Well, what about this? So I actually respected that out of the reporter. He didn't back down. He wasn't a jerk. He wasn't an a-hole. He just was persistent. And I actually agree with Brian Kelly. I have no problem with the reporter. He has every right to ask those questions. He wasn't a jerk. Maybe lead with something else. But I actually agree with Brian Kelly. Dude, they beat Clemson on the road to start the season. Then you beat Florida. And yeah, Florida's probably going to have a new head coach by the end of the year, if not sooner. I just asked Virginia Tech, UCLA. But Florida's still one of the most talented teams in the country. But I've made this joke a million times, so here's 1,000,001. If you're going to play the NFC East, North, and South, and then lose to USF on top of it in your schedule, you're not going to be around long, but they're still a talented team. I'm actually with Brian Kelly. We won the game. We have won two really good games versus two really good, good teams and a talented team. We're 3-0. We're finding ways to win the game. I have no problem with how Kelly responded. A little strong initially. The reporter fired right back. And then Kelly stood up for his team. I have no issue with it. If I'm the reporter, maybe I save that question for Monday's press conference because they did just have a big win versus Florida, and they did just beat Clemson. Maybe I don't fire right out the gate with it. But if you're going to fire right out the gate, don't back down, and he didn't. And I got no problem with the way Kelly responded. Hey, we won. What more do you want from us right now? Let us breathe a little bit and ask me this question on Monday. Is essentially let us get there. Okay, let us enjoy this for a few minutes. He didn't say ask it on Monday, but give us a day or two to kind of enjoy this, move on, get ready, and evaluate what we need to get better at. And then that question might have been better timed. I just thought it was highly entertaining. What say you, Jake?
Yeah, no, I actually agree with you on both parts. I think that, it looked like, I just everything. I mean, I wouldn't have started with that question. Like you said, that's kind of, there's that guy in every market, I suppose. But he's, you start with a negative. So I understand the frustration. I also think Brian Kelly actually handled it pretty well, which was to make his point. We're number 3 in the nation. They outran Florida in that game in rushing yards. And to his point, they did better on third down the previous game. They're not perfect, but that's the expectation there in LSU. So it's interesting, but I don't think anybody did anything wrong here. I kind of like it altogether. It's entertaining, but I don't think anybody's in the wrong.
So, serious question. I played for Bo. I love Bo. But how do you think Bo would have reacted to that?
That's kind of to my point. I think Brian Kelly handled it well. Didn't go off yelling, spouting, swearing, anything like that. So, daring his AD to fire him or anything like that. So, that's sort of, I think I would have been even more entertained by a Bo responding to that. I guess what I would get to.
All right, should we wrap up our picks now? We've still got one more clip of Lexi Rodriguez We'll play sometime in hour 2 of the Adam Carriker show. We'll respond to Matt Rule's press conference in hour 2, depending on when it wraps up anyways. If not today, we'll get to it tomorrow. And is Nebraska truly ready for Michigan? Loaded hour 2. But let's finish up with our picks from the college football season so far. Currently, as we stand, I'm 9-8. You're 7-10. So
let's do something about that. Georgia Tech and Clemson.
Dang it! I know how that one went.
Yeah, you picked Clemson. Georgia Tech does win on a game-winning field goal, 24-21. Brent Key is making a name for himself. I said it before for getting the upset. So it's incredible. And anybody looking for an open job, that might be a good place to start looking.
Who did you pick?
I picked Georgia Tech.
Oh, of course you did. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I'm happy for you, Jake. That's what I meant.
We both picked Miami, though we both, I think we're giving South Florida a lot more credit than what they ended up getting. 49-12. Miami took care of South Florida.
So did we do a point spread on that game?
We didn't. No, we just picked.
We just picked outright. Yeah. Okay, so we both get the point there. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's head to Texas A&M and Notre Dame.
Dang it.
I'm sure you were happy. I mean, despite your pick, you still saw former Husker and Nate Borkature come down with the winning catch there on 4th down to allow Texas A&M to beat Notre Dame 41-40. Notre Dame still ranked at 0-2.
Okay, so a couple of things. Is that the last game we picked?
No, we both also, real quickly, picked LSU and Alabama to win, and they both won.
Okay, so let me add 2. 10 plus 2 is 15. 12. Okay, and then you're at... Okay, so I'm ahead 12-9, 11-10. I picked Notre Dame, right?
Yes.
So that would make it 12-10. Who'd you pick?
A&M.
You did. Are you sure?
Yep.
All right, you're 11-11. I'm 12-10. So I'm ahead by 1 game right now. You're 1 game back if we want to talk about, divisional standings and whatnot. All right, let's go back to the Notre Dame Texas A&M thing. Great game. Notre Dame has played 2 really good opponents, 2 really good teams, and they've lost both, and they're still in the top 25. What is going on? I have never, ever put a lot of credence into the AP poll. It's not that the people voting don't know what they're doing. Some don't. Did you see the lady who's like, I just have fun with it and who cares?
That was bad.
Like, moved Miami ahead of USF after Florida, after USF beat Florida a week ago. It's like, I just do it for fun. Like, what?
Take that vote away. I hope it is.
Oh, so that doesn't help. But it's impossible to watch every team. Like, if you're truly focused on Nebraska and covering it the way you should, if that is your team, or Florida State, or Washington, or USC, like on any given Saturday, I'll spend 8 hours on the Husker game. I think I told you, I went to bed at 4 a.m. after the game at Arrowhead. 4 a.m. is when I went to bed. I went to bed at 2 a.m. after frickin' Akron because it was a night game. Like, if you're truly invested in your team that you're covering, how do you have time to watch everyone across the country, or the teams that should be ranked, or the teams in the top 50 that are in the conversation? And just how is it even possible? You know what I mean? Does that make any sense?
Oh no, absolutely. I mean, it kind of struck me the first time. I don't know, an AP voter that I talked to before. Kind of talking to national college football, how locked in they were on the Huskers. I mean, they could run down every Husker situation that you have, but it's tough to get to all the games. Tough to watch everybody.
Well, then you're going to have a certain amount of bias. And then what about the West Coast teams? Like those Pac-12 games back in the day, they used to be done at like 2 a.m. Central Time. So you're getting up at 6 to get up, get ready, go to an 11 a.m. Nebraska game, if that's what time it is. Maybe you're on the road. And then I remember when the coaches poll and the AP poll used to be somewhat equal. And then basically certain folks were like, they just vote for their friends in the coaches poll. It's all about the AP poll. And I was like, what? Right? So it's hard to have a perfect poll. I'm not indicting any singular poll for any single reason other than it's really hard to do it. But when you have people openly saying, I just do this for fun and their rankings make no sense and Notre Dame's 0-2 and they're still ranked, I understand. They play 2 really good teams, but at some point you got to win a football game. You want to be ranked. Now you're just doing it based off your preseason expectations of them and you're completely ignoring what's happened on the field. Notre Dame, they may very well make the playoff, go 10-2. They may not. They'd have to win every game the rest of the season. They're in a worse spot than they were after they lost to Northern Illinois last year. And I didn't think I'd ever say that. But since they played in the national title or qualified for the national title game, they're 0-3 and they've lost to 3 straight ranked teams away from one was at home, one was away, one was on a neutral field. So they're a really good program. Marcus Freeman's a really good coach. They're still a really good team, but they should not be ranked right now. And they're ranked ahead of USC, who's 3-0 and averaging about 9,000 points a game. Like, how does that make any sense?
2 losses by 4 points to 2 teams that are in the top 10 now.
Would you still have them ranked?
I don't think so.
You're just saying why they are.
Yeah, I'm just saying I do. I get the argument. They also, for what it's worth, they don't play another ranked team, at least as of now, the rest of the season.
So if they went out and go 10-2, are they in?
Probably, because 2 losses against 2 top. Well, depends on what Texas A&M. I mean, it depends on what Texas A&M and LSU finish too, I think. But for the most part, yeah, probably in.
Let's say they both just finished ranked.
Yeah.
Just ranked somewhere. You think they're in?
Yeah, I think they're in.
You lose to the only 2 ranked teams you play, and you go 10-0 versus unranked teams in this scenario.
And you're Notre Dame.
Oh, that too. Did you see the report by Brett McMurphy? Where if they go to a 16-team college football playoff, Notre Dame will immediately join a conference, the Big Ten or SEC. Did you see that?
Yeah.
You sound doubtful.
Was that real? I mean, I think he was making a joke. Is that a joke? Was that an attempt at a joke? Expand the playoffs so they can get in?
There was no laughing emoji at the end.
Yeah. I don't know.
I think he was serious. What would Notre Dame be? Well, I was going to say, what would Notre Dame be doing in the SEC? What are half the teams in the Big Ten doing in the Big Ten? Notre Dame belongs in the Big Ten.
I just stand corrected, by the way. USC in the polls now, 25. So they do have one more ranked team ahead.
Ah, good point. So then if they beat one ranked team, go 10-0 versus everybody the rest of the season, they deserve a top 2 bid. Is that what you're saying?
Oh, if it's USC, they'd be, yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. All right, just a quick update on the picks, mostly because I have a slight edge over Jake, so we're going to talk about it for a minute here. I am 12-10, so I'm good enough to go to a bowl game, but nowhere near being ranked or a playoff team as far as picking games so far. In my defense, I started off 0-5. I had a rough start, man. Jake is 11-11. So if he were a baseball player, he's batting 500. He's a Hall of Famer. So we're doing pretty good so far.
Yeah.
All right, hour 2. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
There are great Mexican restaurants all over town, but there is one that is especially worth the drive from any part of town. Tacos Los Hermanos at 70th and Havelock. Cool off this summer with a delicious horchata or other special drinks, and grab one of their famous taco boxes for a group of friends or coworkers to enjoy, full of birria tacos and many other options. Don't forget their great desserts like tres leches, flan, and cheesecake. Get to Tacos Los Hermanos for lunch or dinner today at 70th and Havelock in Lincoln.
Farmers know it all starts with the soil. At Carbon Connections, they're helping you unlock its full potential. Their high-quality humic acid improves nutrient uptake, boosts root development, and enhances soil structure, so your crops get more from every acre. But it doesn't stop there. With a full lineup of crop protection products, they help you reduce synthetic inputs while protecting yields and profits. Smarter inputs, healthier soils, better returns. It's time to grow more naturally. Visit Carbon Connections on Facebook or call them today at 402-947-1476 to learn how they can help your farm thrive. Carbon Connections, unlocking your potential.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Hungry for something real? Come to HF Crave, Lincoln's favorite spot for burgers that are anything but basic. Locally sourced Nebraska beef, hand-cut fries, and bold flavors that'll make your taste buds cheer. Whether you're craving the classics or ready to try something wild, they've got the burger that gets you. HF Crave. Fresh, local, craveable. Find them at 48th and Holdridge or order online at hfcrave.com.
Experience an electric vehicle firsthand at LES's EV Ride and Drive, September 28th at the LES Operations Center. Registration is open now, but spots are limited. Visit les.com/drive to reserve your drive.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills Global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC. This month kicks off Koppel's 50th anniversary sale. We're celebrating 50 years by offering an additional $500 discount to the next 100 customers that buy a new vehicle. This is in addition to the huge savings already in place. You can take an extra $500 off our discounted price, or we can cut you a check on the spot. Celebrate with savings and see why customers have trusted Koppel since 1975. It's our way of saying thank you for all these years.
Make this your best football season yet with help from Limitless Mail. If you're struggling with low energy, muscle loss, brain fog, belly fat, mood swings, it's likely low testosterone, and Limitless Mail can fix that. We've helped over 100,000 men feel stronger, leaner, sharper, and more like themselves again. Don't sit on the sidelines this season. Take control. Book your free consult today at limitlessmail.com. That's limitlessmail.com.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see mostly sunny skies and light winds. It'll be warm with an afternoon high near 89. Tonight, mostly clear skies and calm winds, low near 66. Tomorrow, we'll see mostly sunny skies and light winds. It'll be hot with a high around 90. Meteorologist Kyle Husker for 93.7 The Ticket and ticketfm.com.
Big news, Nebraska. Love Omaha is now Love Nebraska. This is more than just a new name. It's a tribute to what Nebraska represents in the world of volleyball. It's still the same team with the same mission, led by players you know and love. Now backed by a new ownership group led by Jordan Larson. As Love Nebraska, they're entering an exciting new chapter, pushing for a championship title in 2026 and building new opportunities for the next generation of players across the state. They want you with them. Let's show the world how Nebraska plays volleyball. Join the movement at lovneb.com and sign up to become a Love Nebraska Insider today.
At CHI Health Clinic, we believe healthcare should be personal because knowing your provider personally makes appointments more comfortable, more productive, and more meaningful to your overall health. Get matched with a primary care provider based on your personality and lifestyle using CHI Health Clinic's My Provider Match. Take the survey at myprovidermatch.com to find the right provider for you. Getting healthier starts by getting personal at CHI Health Clinic.
Mike, I've been thinking our house could really use a makeover. How about new siding?
I've been thinking the same thing. Have you heard of James Hardy?
Yes. Sarah down the street had Roofing Service Company install James Hardy siding on their home, and they love it.
Roofing Service Company does have great reviews.
They took her through the design process and made everything super easy.
Roofing Service Company offers expert design and installation. Couple that with James Hardy's durable products and variety of colors, you and your family will love your exterior remodel. Just visit roofingservicecompany.com. That's roofingservicecompany.com.
Hi, everybody. Charlie Stone back again with Andy Goodyear of Honda of Lincoln. Andy, there are so many great things to talk about right now. Let's start with new and pre-owned vehicles.
Thanks, Charlie. Yeah, we're all excited those days of inventory shortages are behind us. Right now, we have more than 400 new Hondas to choose from and over 125 pre-owned with just about any make or model in stock.
I know certified pre-owned Hondas are a very important part of your dealership. Tell us about certified, Andy.
We always have a great selection of certified pre-owned Hondas in stock in like new condition, and they also come with a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty.
How about service?
You know, our amazing service department not only services Hondas, but we service just about any make, and we are one of the largest tire dealers in the state. Look us up the next time you need tires on your car.
Experience the best at the Honda of Lincoln way of doing business, 27th and Yankee Hill Road, or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
This is the Adam Carriker Show.
Position right of the quarterback out of the shotgun, 1st and 20. Jailbreak screen in the air. It is tipped. It is intercepted by Carriker at the Missouri 21-yard line.
Live from the heart of Lincoln, America, 8-year NFL vet and All-American defensive lineman Adam Carriker.
Shotgun snap to Everett. He's got the left arm going, and now he's got a whole lot of Adam Carriker who rips him down inside the 25-yard line.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here is your host, Adam Carriker.
Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to Hour 2 of the Adam Carriker Show here on 93.7. excuse me, the ticket. I need a drink. Pardon me 1 second. All right, much better. It's the noon hour, and that means it's lunch. The lunch hour of Adam Carriker. The Adam Carriker Show here on the Ticket is sponsored by our friends at Mulberry Barbecue, now located at 2. That's Dose locations at 11th and Cornhusker and 61st and Apples Way, right off of Highway 2 by Lowe's. Both locations are open Monday through Saturday from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. Try their burnt-end sandwich, a brisket burrito, barbecue nachos, a full slab of ribs, half-smoked chicken, and much more, plus incredible sides. Get fueled for lunch today or make dinner plans at Mulberry Barbecue, located at 11th and Cornhusker and 61st and Apples Way, just off of Highway 2. One more note, we will be on location once again here in the near future at Mulberry Barbecue's South location. All right, real quick, before we dive into everything in hour 2, from Alexi Rodriguez clip. It was weird to see her in the stands at a Nebraska volleyball game this past weekend, but she got interviewed briefly. We got a clip from that. All right, reacting to Matt Rule's press conference. Hopefully today, if we can't, we'll get to it tomorrow, but I feel like we can get to it today, hopefully, depending on when he wraps everything up. All right. And Nebraska, are they ready for Michigan? Before we dive into all that, is there anything off the text line, and we'll make sure that we're officially caught up on everything? Like you said, the Brett McMurphy thing was a joke about Notre Dame?
Yeah, it was.
Are you sure?
Yeah. So Anthony Portland says, I think NBC determines if Notre Dame joins the conference. But yeah, that was, I think, an attempt at a joke to try to get an auto bid because they're not going to get one, obviously, at this point. So we'll see. Tommy says, I'm annoyed Nebraska moved down to like 35, 36. They should be no worse than 26 in the polls.
I like that. So we're just right outside of the top 25. We're sliding, and Notre Dame is still ranked. But they played slightly tougher schedule so far. I still don't know how they're ranked. I'm not saying we should be ranked. I still don't know how they're ranked. I know how. Let me take that back. I know how. I just don't think they should be. Anything else?
Scott in Minnesota said Fleck would do well in UCLA. And Old Dad 34 says rumors are that Vic goes back to Virginia Tech. What do you think?
That could be interesting. I think he needs a little bit more experience, though. Like, it's really his first season ever as a head coach in college football right now at a lower level school. I would think that they'd want him to get a little bit more experience before they make him the man at Virginia Tech. All right. A Power 4 program. It's had a lot of success. And yeah, he led them to a national title game versus Florida State. Do you disagree?
No, I absolutely agree. I mean, Norfolk State starting 1-2 so far this year. That doesn't mean it won't happen. I mean, look what the Deshaun Foster thing. I mean, that's basically what happened.
What was the thing you read right before that? Oh, PJ Fleck at UCLA. That would be a good fit. Like, I feel like he would fit LA. I do feel like that would be a good fit.
Why do you think PJ Fleck that's a good fit for LA in general?
I got to be honest. I can't believe he's fit in at Minnesota as well as he has. He just finds ways to win games. To me, he's not a great fit at Minnesota on the surface. Turned out not half bad. Just kind of, flamboyant, out there, a little different. I don't want to say eccentric, because maybe eccentric, but not in like a negative way, although there's a lot of people who don't like PJ Fleck a ton. I'm personally not one of those people that feels that way. I get tired of him beating us with lesser talented teams. That's what bothers me about him. Just means he's a good football coach. I just feel like his entertaining personality would fit well in Los Angeles, California. How about that?
Yeah.
Do you agree or no?
I mean, I can see it. Again, he's kind of been Midwestern in his success so far, but that definitely could be something. I'd be so intrigued just to see it. And I don't know, UCLA again feels lost somehow. I mean, there's so much sunshine and recruits everywhere. For some reason, UCLA just can't figure it out.
So my earliest memories of football, I was born in 84. So, like, by the time I could start, like, understanding what was going on the TV, it was like Cade McNown and UCLA playing Wisconsin in the Rose Bowl, like, almost every year, and winning Pac-10 championships. And even 99, they had one loss. They won the Pac-10 championship. I think they were number 5 in the country. Lost to Wisconsin and Ron Dane, the Heisman winner that year in the Rose Bowl, in a great game. J.J. Stokes, like all those guys. Deshaun Foster, a great running back. I still have those early memories. I always liked UCLA better than USC. I like their color scheme, as weird as that sounds. I just did as a kid. Things that stick out to you can be kind of funny sometimes. I don't know why they haven't been as good. I think USC is the more traditional program, and I think they just haven't had the consistent coaching. So I think they get overlooked a little bit, and if you're going to have success at UCLA, you've either got to be a basketball coach or you've got to be a little bit better than your typical football coach. But there's a lot of talent around, and if I'm UCLA right now, I can walk into any California recruit's living room and be like, hey, do you want to play G5? You want to play Power 4, you're going to have to fly halfway across the country every other week. You want to play for Cal Stanford, and immediately you've eliminated 90% of your competition. Now it's you and USC. So you would think that they would get better going forward, but you never know. Anything else?
No, I'm always fascinated by it. I mean, maybe on campus stadium might help. The Rose Bowl is very, very cool, very historic, but the students don't travel across town. It takes hours to get anywhere in LA. So, maybe some of that, I don't know. It's been a long time. Terry Donahue days are coming around for a long time. Jim Mora had a little bit of success there, but they're always able seemingly to get a little bit of a name. The problem is too here with Chip Kelly, they chased him out of town. He was getting 8 wins a year. They kind of felt like that was stuck in neutral. Yeah, maybe they should learn a little lesson from some other programs maybe that have done.
Oh, wow. Bad news box strikes. All right. Is there anything else?
No.
Nebraska, Michigan. I want to know from the folks on the text line. You can write a novel or you can write a one-word answer. Whatever you choose, or somewhere in between if you like. Is Nebraska ready for Michigan? Yes or no? Again, a couple sentences, one word, novel, whatever you like. Is Nebraska ready for Michigan? What do you think, Jake?
I think they're ready. It's just a weird place to be in. I mean, I've already been asked, I was talking with Jay Foreman about it. It's like, you think they'll win? Like, man, it's just tough. Nebraska fans have been in this position over and over again. We're fine. You're right back to where you usually are. Hey, this is it. This is the time that it means differently. This is where they finally needed to get to. And here we are. So, I mean, I think they have what it takes to beat Michigan. But you're going to have some stats that pop up about Matt Rule not beating top 25 opponents, about Nebraska not beating top 25 opponents, and those have weighed on me. I'm not gonna lie to you. I mean, that's why I'm pretty cautiously optimistic, if you put it that way.
I think my response is we're as ready as we're going to be. Cincinnati. I mean, I've heard some people refer to them as a dark horse in the Big 12, like they might be a contender in the Big 12. I don't know. I just have simply stated they are absolutely better than they were last year. They're absolutely a bowl team. Again, does that mean 6-6? Does that mean 10-2, 7-5, 8-4, 9-3? I don't know. But you find a way to win a game, the first game of the season. You normally, in those same type of games, find a way to lose. So that's something. Then you go out and you beat Akron. And do you remember last year when the backups came in versus UTEP halfway through the third quarter? You remember how many points they scored the last quarter and a half? I do. I'll give you a hint. It was 37-0 when they came in the game. Do you remember the final score of that game?
What was it, 40?
Yeah, it was 40-7 at the end. They scored 3 points in the last quarter and a half and gave up. No, that touchdown was against our starters. It was 37-7. I apologize. So they outscored UTEP 3-0. Now, Akron's not exactly going to mollywop people in the WAC, or in the MAC. In fact, they might be one of the worst MAC teams out there, but UTEP was bad for their conference last year too. And everyone knew they were going to be coming into the season. And we outscored our starters in that game. 35 points in the second, well, at least in the second half, we outscored what we did in the first half, 35 points to 33. This past weekend, I predicted 56-7, by the way, Jake. Final score was 59-7, so I was pretty close. I appreciate the shout out on that early in the show and recognizing me on that, Jake.
You're off. You're still off. You got to get it exactly.
Oh.
Then we'll be impressed.
All right. That's fair.
By the way, the 7 bother you at all?
No.
Missed tackle backfield?
Okay. So does the 7 bother me? No. Because it's really hard to shut out two teams. We had 7 shutout quarters out of our last 8, regardless of who we were playing. What bothers me is the way they scored. The run, the 45-yard touchdown run. Multiple guys with bad pursuit angles, bad tackling. Just that's what bothers me. One play, fine. Okay. My point is, I absolutely believe our team is better than it's been. I absolutely believe the coaching staff is as good as we've had in a long time, factoring in the coordinators. Special teams is better. Offense is more efficient. I think the backups are better. which is what I was getting at. You look at what we've done the past couple games when the starters have been out. The backups, I feel like we have some better depth. I don't know that we have all the depth that Matt Rule would like in a utopian world. In fact, he said that after a couple of scrimmages. Hey, the 2s through 4s got to step up a little bit, but it's better than it's been. So there's a lot of things that are better. I think Nebraska is as ready for Michigan as they're going to be. You had a game where you saw, hey, we need to work on this, and this. This is what we did well. You had 2 games and 3 weeks of practice to work on it now. We still have the week of practice ahead of us. By the time we kick off 2:30 Central Time on Saturday versus Michigan, you'll have had 3 weeks. I don't know what more you can realistically ask for. You could ask for the game to be later in the year, et cetera, et cetera. Michigan doesn't have their head coach. Michigan has a true freshman quarterback. The later in the year you wait, the more experience he gets. So for me, they're as ready as they're going to be. It's one of those things where I've already mentioned in the offseason, looking ahead to the Minnesota game, I can already hear it. We're going halfway across the country to Maryland. Then we got to come back home and go on a road game on a short week on a Friday night to Minnesota. No excuses. Get the job done. Figure it out, get it done, or get better. Okay? Like with Michigan, I'm not saying this is our Super Bowl. It is a potential launching point. It is a potential to get so many freaking monkeys off our back on one day. Now, if we don't, the monkeys are still there. I don't think the monkeys are going to drown us. I don't know if this is a perfect metaphor, but if you win, you get the monkeys off your back, and that first win when you haven't done something in a long time is always the hardest. I guarantee, had Tennessee beaten Georgia, they've now lost 9 straight times to Georgia. Had they beaten them, it would have been easier to beat them next year. The first time you do something, or the first time you do something when you haven't done it in a long time, which sometimes can be more frustrating, is the hardest. Then it becomes, it's kind of like that monkey, that gorilla, that orangutan, that gigantic thing that you feel that weight on your shoulders is off your back. It's easier to do it again going forward. This is an opportunity to validate a lot of the offseason talk, a lot of the preseason expectations, and just the fact, not even that we're national title contenders or college football playoff contenders. You know, if we beat Michigan, I can talk more about that next week. I've never bought into that personally. Not yet. But we can talk about, we are 4-0. We're going into a bye week. We've done a lot of things this year we haven't done in a long time if we beat Michigan, and it is a launching point for and towards the rest of the season. That's why this is such a big game, in my humble opinion, and Nebraska's as ready as they're going to be. I don't know what more you can ask out of them from the first 3 games. You mollywop, curb stomp, and whoop sideways your last 2 opponents, which you should, and you did, and we haven't always done that. The first game of the year, you find a way to win. I don't know what more you could have asked, unless you want them to beat Cincinnati 68-0 or something. In their first 3 games, what more they could have done. Now, it's that next step. It's like you're walking up the staircase of success, and you've taken the first few steps, these first 3 weeks, and you feel good. Now, in order to take the next step, there's a couple of boards missing, and you're going to have to take a big leap, but you're ready to take that leap, and that's what this Michigan game and the potential of winning a game like this is for Nebraska.
Yeah, it's it could be a launching point. I mean, it quite frankly is. If Nebraska wins this game, they're going to jump into the top 25. Once you're in the top 25, obviously it's to kind of circle the college football playoffs. You look down the line, the schedule down the line. Again, USC ranked now, so that's on Nebraska's schedule too. USC and Penn State, the 2 remaining ranked teams. But from there, games that could be winnable. So you start to count wins. I don't know if you're ready for that. If you beat Michigan, obviously you feel like you're closer to that. What a lot of people are saying on the text line, and what I think is going to be the primary focus going into this game, is the fact that you gave up 200 yards rushing to Cincinnati. A lot of that to their quarterback. Bryce Underwood just ran his first 100-yard game this past weekend against Central Michigan. Even more fearful to that than for me is Justice Haynes, the former Alabama running back, has now 3 games at Michigan, 3 100-yard games, and is averaging 8 yards a pop. So the rush defense didn't look fantastic in game 1. Obviously, this is a team that builds their whole team around the line of scrimmage. So Nebraska's going to have to take a significant step forward from week 1. Did they do enough in the weeks in between to kind of get there? Then the other thing is, you kind of flip flip the opposite side. Michigan's a really good defense. Is offense ready to score? If Nebraska's rush defense struggles a little bit, you get to a game in the 20s, 30s. Can Nebraska kind of keep up there? So that's interesting too. They got a fantastic field goal kicker, though he has struggled a little bit early on in this game, in this season. So that's something to look into as well. But it seems on paper, I mean, I think Michigan's a 3-point favorite, something like that. It's anybody's ball game, but that stopping the run is what you're going to hear constantly all week long, and it's going to play a pivotal factor there on Saturday.
So we'll get into the keys of the game. All right, I'm not going to shock you if and when we get into the keys of the game with what they are. Well, not if, but when we get into the keys of the game. So as I'm looking, FanDuel has Nebraska 2.5-point underdog. So this Saturday, so 2.5, 3, tomato. The keys of the game for this week are not going to shock people. But as far as what more could we do to be ready for Michigan, I mean, you're not going to walk in a bunch of 330-pound guys right now. Okay? We are the size we are. We are the team that we are. There's a lot to be excited about that. There are things that need to be improved upon. I don't think there's anything we could do to be more ready than we're going to be at this point right now. When you get into the keys of the game, and those are things I'm going to save for throughout the week, stopping the run's absolutely going to be there. The good thing for Nebraska is you had that Cincinnati game. You had a quarterback who could run. You had to deal with that. Because if you hadn't had to deal with it, you wouldn't understand how much of a problem it is, because Rule said after that game, we don't deal with that in practice. Raiola doesn't run, Gromstad doesn't run, TJ can, but it's not a major part of the offense. That was really the first time they'd seen it. If you don't see that the first game, you don't realize you need to address and fix it. So it wasn't great to see it from a fan's perspective, from a coach's perspective. You now have a chance to get better. And you can watch that first game. How do we fix this? Or how do we at least get better at it? You can watch Bryce's 100-yard rushing performance yesterday or Saturday in his game, and you can be like, all right, this is how we at least have a chance to improve on this. Had we just played 3 straight statues at quarterback, we might have found out on Saturday, hey, we're not great at containing the quarterback, and that's not the day you want to find that out. So at least we have a chance to get better, improve on, and address the fact that we need to get better and improve on it before Saturday gets here.
Yeah, those are very good points, and we'll see. I mean, Nebraska's defense, like you said, I know some people would be feeling better about, maybe if you had some heavier guys in there. That was the talk of the offseason with Nash and Ty, of course, departing. But they can make some adjustments. I wouldn't be surprised if they work some quarterback spy into it. Maybe just bring in, run more 4-3s than they traditionally do. Maybe put 5 men on the line at times against Alabama or against Michigan. Yeah, I mean, that's all part of the coaching aspect of it. And of course, that's going to also be a big factor in this week, is Michigan doesn't not only have their head coach for game day, but he can't help them prepare throughout the week. Somebody should be out there to make sure Michigan follows the rules, because they don't always do that on that sort of thing. But I'm sure that's I'm sure it's taken care of. I'm not so sure, but that's just, I mean, this is where the opportunity is there. Like you said, they feel like they're Nebraska's in a good spot. What better place to do that than, like you said, shutting out your opponents 7 out of the last 8 quarters, getting the confidence rolling. So it's here. This is where Nebraska wanted to be when we came into the year and thought, okay, when Michigan comes, Nebraska hopefully at that time is 3-0 and has kind of figured some things out, and I think they are.
All right, let's go to break. When we come back, can we have that Lexi clip ready? Or we can also do it tomorrow if we need to. Can we just save that for tomorrow?
We could.
Okay, we'll either play Lexi clip in the next segment, or we won't. Either today or tomorrow. We'll see. But I do want to chat about, do we need to do more 4-man line? Maybe we haven't shown it a lot for a reason. I mean, we've shown it, but maybe we're going to go more to it, and we've kind of saved it. A lot of defensive coaches don't like a spy. Is that something Nebraska should entertain? Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Make this your best football season yet with help from Limitless Mail. If you're struggling with low energy, muscle loss, brain fog, belly fat, mood swings, it's likely low testosterone, and Limitless Mail can fix that. We've helped over 100,000 men feel stronger, leaner, sharper, and more like themselves again. Don't sit on the sidelines this season. Take control. Book your free consult today at limitlessmail.com. That's limitlessmail.com.
Feeling off lately? Struggling with your mental well-being can make everyday life harder, and it can also increase the risk of substance use. Early support can make a big difference. Visit myhealthymind.crediblemmind.com and take the free mental health check-in assessment. In just a few minutes, you'll get non-judgmental feedback, local resources, and next steps to help you feel more in control and supported. This message is funded in part by the CDC OD2A grant.
Are you looking to upgrade or improve the garage door on your home? This is Cameron Hall of Doors Plus. At Doors Plus, we guarantee to offer a wide selection of options from 5 leading garage door manufacturers as we deliver a free estimate, exact measurements, and rapid installation with a 3 to 5 week time frame. When you choose Doors Plus for your residential garage door needs, you'll work with our experienced technicians and be ensured that your new door seamlessly complements your home. Give us a call at 402-590-5800 or visit us online at doorsplusllc.com. Doors Plus, garage doors and more.
Time for a new heating and cooling system? Get the options, brand, and efficiency that best fits your family and your home. Call Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
With UBT, you've got total control over your money. Like Doug, who runs his game day tailgate like a well-oiled machine.
I got burgers, brats, chicken, dogs, plus all the fixins. And with the UBT Go app, I can track my food spending from anywhere.
Pro move.
They don't call me Grill Sergeant for nothing.
No matter your goals, UBT helps you feel good about reaching them. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
I can't believe I just scratched that car. Find my insurance card.
Dude, what do you have in this glove box? Ew, are these socks dirty?
Oh, forget about the socks. I need my insurance card.
Just pull it up on the State Farm mobile app.
But I can do that? Oh, hey, I can do that.
Yep, it's called service.
I can file a claim on here too?
Yeah, it's called service.
Whoa, I can call my agent too?
It's called service.
Call your local State Farm agent, Vinny Krikak, today at 402-474-1173.
It's game on at Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Nebraska's premier power sports dealership. Stocking top models from Can-Am, Kawasaki, Honda, Polaris, CF Moto, Suzuki, Yamaha, Indian Motorcycle, Sea-Doo, and Triton trailers. Score big on our massive selection of Can-Am side-by-sides with rebates up to $3,000 on select in-stock models. Elway Power Sports of Lincoln has you covered all under one roof with a large selection of side-by-sides, ATVs, motorcycles, and personal watercraft at their 27th and I-80 location. They can't wait to get you set up for football season.
When your home fills up with family, Allo Fiber makes sure that space is a happy place for everyone. Allo Fiber experts install it all, and full service means step-by-step support, guiding you through everything so you can stay connected to what matters, and the family can always feel at home. Put the game on, and don't worry about your Wi-Fi calling a timeout. Better TV and internet service is one connection away. Call Allo at 866-481-2556 or visit allofiber.com.
Have you heard about Advanced Medical Imaging Surgery Center? Located at 7555 Pioneers Boulevard, Advanced Medical Imaging Surgery Center offers compassionate, patient-focused care and provides outpatient surgery services, making it possible to have non-emergency surgery and return home the same day. Advanced Medical Imaging Surgery Center specializes in cardiology, vascular radiology, orthopedics, pain management, and much, much more. Give them a call today at 402-261-1085 or online at amimaging.com.
This is Bill Mitchner, Executive Director of Lincoln Lighthouse. Did you know Lighthouse provides multiple programs for students such as one-on-one tutoring and mentoring, as well as pro-social skill exercises, while providing them a nourishing meal and a safe space during all months of the year, even during school breaks? Learn more or contribute to Lighthouse at lincolnlighthouse.org today.
Oh, Kansas. You just don't stop giving, do you? Green flag, we're underway. The closest finish in NASCAR Cup Series history. Close to downtown, amazing campgrounds. 3 NASCAR races in one weekend, and it's the playoffs. You guys can't drive. Now you're just showing off. But we're not mad. In fact, we're looking forward to it. NASCAR Playoffs Weekend at Kansas Speedway, September 26th through the 28th. Get your tickets now at kansasspeedway.com.
A business's phone is the lifeline to its customers and potential clients. That's why it's so important that you can take calls seamlessly from anywhere, whether you're on the road or in the office. Hamilton Business Technologies can help ensure your phone rings wherever you are. We can equip your headquarters and any of its locations with the right tools for smooth, professional call handling. As the official business IT partner of the Huskers, we know how to keep Nebraska businesses connected. Learn more at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see mostly sunny skies and light winds. It'll be warm with an afternoon high near 89. Tonight, mostly clear skies and calm winds, low near 66. Tomorrow, we'll see mostly sunny skies and light winds. It'll be hot with a high around 90. Meteorologist Kyle Husker for 93.7 The Ticket and TicketFM.com.
This is the Adam Carriker Show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hi, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Adam Carriker Show. I have a mouthful of pizza, so I apologize.
Valentino's pizza.
It was very good. Shout out to Valentino's Pizza. Delicious. Meat lovers and pepperoni as well. All right. I also want to shout out Suizo Construction. Hour 2 of the Adam Carriker Show is sponsored by our good friends at Suizo Construction, where safety isn't just a policy, it is a promise. Suizo is hiring skilled craftsmen, laborers, concrete workers, and steel erectors who value quality work in a team that has your back on and off the job site. Apply today at Suizo.com. 40 years strong of business. Suizo Construction. Again, that's SCHWISOW.com. All right. I don't know. I don't have any inside knowledge. I'm just thinking we might see more four-man line this week. I know we're technically at 3-3-5, but several times it's been indicated throughout the offseason we'd run more four-man lines. I don't think the Huskers really wanted to show a ton these first 3 games for obvious reasons. So maybe I'm wrong, but my gut says it might not be a bad thing to see more four-man lines that include the likes of Cam Lenhart, Keona Davis, Riley Van Poppel, and maybe Williams Waneri out at the end. If you want speed on the field, somebody who can chase a quarterback down, he's got it, Waneri. What are your thoughts on that? 3-man line, 4-man line. Do you think they're just going to mix it up?
I think they'll probably. I think a lot of it is dictated by the formation, obviously, of the offense, and I think Michigan more often than not is going to load it up a little bit. So, I mean, I think it'll be more 4-man line. It's just kind of interesting who those 4 would be, right? Do you keep the jack linebacker out there and bring him up to the line? Deshaun McCullough getting his first sack the other day for the Huskers, but he's not very big. You know, if it's going to be primarily run defense that you're looking for, you know, he might not be the answer there. So I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued by what they do, but I do think we'll see more 4-man line in this game. And if you don't, I think you might see an adjustment to it.
I agree with that. The other thing I'm curious, I'd be surprised if they either don't mix it up a ton, go back and forth, try to confuse Michigan, or have more 4-man lines. But the other thing I'm curious about, all right, is possibly spying the quarterback. I've yet in my entire life to have a defensive coordinator that likes spying the quarterback. You're essentially taking a defender not out of the defense, but instead of being able to play 11 on 10 to a degree, especially in the run game, you're now 10 on 10, or in the pass game, 10 on 10. Personally, I've never been an NFL or a collegiate defensive coordinator. I've never understood that. If a team is killing you with a running quarterback, I feel like that should be addressed with a spy. And it's not that hard. If you're the spy, you don't even have to attack the quarterback unless he starts to take off downfield. You just hang over in that 5-yard zone where all the slants and ends, and it'd be hard to guard a hitch from there. But a lot of those crossing routes are going to be, so you're going to be in the way of a lot of those short crossing routes, slants, things of that nature. And then you just go get the quarterback if he starts to take off. That way you're in coverage, and that way you've got him in the run game or the pass game if he starts to take off and run. Now, Michigan's not necessarily an option team, so then you could potentially be taking him out of, at least to a degree, of defending the run. But really the only time you really need a spy is in a drop back pass game. So if it's some sort of play action, you don't see a lot of quarterbacks take off and play action barring shotgun RPOs, which hasn't been Michigan's bread and butter over the years. I'm curious to see how their offense evolves with their new talented quarterback. Maybe they'll show us some things on Saturday we hadn't seen yet, or they haven't shown typically over the years. I would expect a few more four-man lines. I would expect a bunch of things we have not seen. I would not expect a spy. Defensive coordinators just don't like it. They don't. What say you, Jake?
Yeah, I mean, I can certainly understand the argument in wanting to go against it, but if it's beating you, it's beating you, and that's kind of what you have to kind of address and adjust to. Now, it is interesting. Oklahoma didn't have a whole lot of problem with Bryce Underwood scrambling around, right? I mean, this was the first game that he kind of showed that off. Hasn't been the best from the pocket, so I mean, obviously the idea here is to make him pass to beat you. And so, I don't mind the idea of it. Obviously, it's not going to be every play. You're going to kind of throw different looks at him, but especially if it starts to hurt Nebraska, I hope that they consider it, or at least, maybe move to it again. Maybe not every play, but in those situations, like you're saying, out of shotgun. And because I mean, that's just one thing that has hurt Nebraska. And it's not just Nebraska's defense. Every defense coordinator also hates mobile quarterbacks because it throws off what you can plan for. And so, it'll be interesting to kind of see what they do. What's the, how much is Michigan preparing for that themselves? Do they notice that Nebraska struggled with that against Cincinnati? I'm sure they do, but I'm just saying, like, how much does that factor into their game plan? So I think it's all a little bit of a chess, but hopefully Nebraska can address it. And if I mean, maybe it's a last resort, but if it has to be, then I think you have somebody go out there and take care of that. Make sure that's not beating you, not being the thing that beats you.
Defensive coordinators are driven nuts by mobile quarterbacks because it's like trying to plan for the unplannable because you don't know what's going to happen. And then you try to plan for that, and then you leave other things open. It's insanely frustrating. The weeks I would dread defensive meetings and practice the most are the weeks I knew we played a mobile quarterback that weekend because D coordinators would just freak out the entire week leading up to the game. They probably weren't sleeping at all, so in their defense, they were probably dog tired. But so we'll see what happens. All right. Can we play? We're going to get to Rhule's press conference tomorrow. Okay, and Dana and John Butler will have their press conference tomorrow as well. So again, shocker, tomorrow's a loaded show. Do we have the Lexi clip?
We'll have to grab that.
Okay. We'll play that tomorrow as well. Loaded show. Anything off the text line real quick before we get out of here for this segment in a couple minutes?
0778 says Nebraska needs to spy. Underwood said he plans to run a lot more after running for over 100 yards this week. Hashtag TTB. 1922 says use speed. McCollum and Wright with Van Poppel and Judy. So that's the kind of the personnel he'd like to see. And Gus Mohawk asks, who's the hardest dual threat quarterback you played against in college and in the NFL?
Oh, that's easy. Michael Vick. It's not even close. That dude has cost me no less than 4 sacks. A frickin' Houdini. So my second to last year in DC, I was my contract year. So I'm like, I'm leading the D line in sacks the entire year through 14 games. Stephen Bowen, who we brought in as a big free agent from the Cowboys, overtook me after the week 15, after our week 16, after our 15th game, back when you played 16 NFL games. And I'm like, it'd be really nice to walk into those contract negotiations saying, yeah, I led the defensive line in sacks. By the way, I didn't even play on nickel, which was an atrocity. How does a guy who's leading your D-line in sacks not even play in a nickel situation? They were trying to keep the numbers down because they were looking ahead to contract negotiations. So Bo's ahead of me by a half a sack. We're playing Eagles in Philly to end the year. First quarter, I beat the right guard, so I'm 2 Vicks back because he's left-handed. And I'm going to nail him. And I'll just be real. I could see the dollar signs in my eyes. I could just see it. Plus, they were wearing those green jerseys. And I leave my feet, and I swear to God, this far from him as I am the microphone, if you can see me right now. And he did a spin move without ever looking at me and got out of that somehow. And it wasn't the only time he ever did it to me. This was just the most egregious one. Got out of my grasp. It's the only time in my life I yelled at somebody as they were running away from me. I was so mad and so pissed. And I'm yelling and screaming at him. No, I cannot repeat on air what I said. And I was so furious. And so he in the NFL was easily, although I'll be honest with you, two of the other toughest ones, one of the other toughest ones was Brady. Mr. whatever it was, 5'5", 40 or whatever, he had a knack for moving, not like outrunning, but moving at the exact right time over and over. Just, they never had a good O-line as a whole. I mean, they had Nate Solder at left tackle, who was pretty good, and a couple of guards, and they were never, Logan Mankins at guard, who was the NFL's version of Richie Incognito before Richie got to the NFL. Good player, would do some extracurriculars, all that stuff. I get back there 2 or 3 times, and every time he would just like move, like right at the right instant, and he would never even look at me. He just had a knack for like moving. He wasn't going to outrun me like Vic. In college, it's a little tougher. Oh, no, it's not. Vince Young. I was just younger and I didn't play as much against Tech. I was a redshirt freshman when we played Texas and Austin. It'd be Vince. Brad Banks popped into my head as well. I did get him successfully a couple times. I mean, Chase Daniels had a little bit of Roethlisberger-esque. He wasn't quite as big. Things to him and about him. The way he could move and fill in the pocket. But unequivocally, once I thought about it for a second, I only played about 15 snaps that game in Austin as a redshirt freshman. But it was Vince. It was Vince Young, unequivocally. So those two, Vic and Vince. I'm going to shock you with those two.
Yeah. Those are, yeah, you're right. Those are the names that I maybe among of all time. I think those would be two of the quarterbacks that would be mentioned first.
It always was amazing to me, the guys who weren't fleet of foot, though, like Brady and Manning, who just had this insane pocket awareness. And they would just move at just the right time and just a half a step here and a little movement step up in the pocket there, and you'd miss them. Or you'd hit them, but you wouldn't quite hit them enough to get them down. Or you'd hit them and get them down, but they had moved just enough to buy that 10th of a second they needed to get the ball off. And then you'd look up and it'd be a 10-yard completion and you'd be mad because you didn't get the sack and he completed the pass. So guys like that were even more impressive to me because they weren't fleet of foot. They just had this insane pocket awareness. So those were guys that always were a little extra frustrating to me because they weren't supposed to get away from you or make it as hard as they did. They were just really good players.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, I don't even know how you, that's always one of the most amazing things to me. Obviously, there's a lot of amazing things in sports, but there just seems to be kind of a knack for that if you're a quarterback. And like you said before, a lot of time it's just like, you don't even see how they see it, right? I mean, they just kind of feel the pressure coming in on them. I mean, that would be something that's hard to coach, right? I mean, it's just kind of something that you either kind of pick up or you don't. I mean, again, you can work on it, try to get better, but it's just kind of a natural kind of feel for it.
I'm curious to see if certain guys get more particular playing time this game than we've seen through 3 games, based on what Michigan does, based on the issues they present. You look at a guy like Cade Pierzak. I mean, he's got to see more play time. And he's a guy with a great first step. Could penetrate into the backfield. Again, I would expect to see Van Poppel, Williams Nwaneri. You know, I mean, Dawson McCullough has made some plays, got some sacks already this year. He's 235, so he's a little bit light to have on the line of scrimmage every single play. But can you imagine, like, him coming off of one edge, Williams Nwaneri coming off the other, and just collapsing that pocket from the outside in? And if Underwood tries to escape out, I don't care how talented he is. Good luck getting away from those two guys. Now, the question is, those two guys are a little bit lighter. Can they consistently hold up against the run? And I'll tell you right now, the number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 100 keys to this game are stopping the run, stopping Michigan's run. We'll dive more into the full keys of the game as the week goes along. But that's by far the biggest thing in my opinion. All right, you got anything else here, Jake, before we go to break?
I don't think so.
Anything off the text line?
There was a question. I know you've answered it before, so maybe briefly, but who's the best offensive lineman you played against?
Yeah, it's always the same 2 names. In college, it was Richie. I played against him in the NFL. I went against him every day in practice for 3 years at Nebraska and every day in practice for 3 years at the Rams. Before he got kicked out of Nebraska and before he got kicked out of St. Louis. So every day for 6 years. Think about that.
Yeah.
Think about that. So he obviously I played against him in the NFL, but in college it was Richie. In the NFL, it was Larry Allen. So it's interesting when I told the story of me yelling at Michael Vick as he ran away from me. I instantly had a flashback to my second NFL game ever. It was versus the Niners. Larry Allen was in his last year or two of his NFL career. Greatest guard in history, strongest player ever, first ballot Hall of Famer, probably the greatest guard to ever play. And he was my second NFL game. The first play is a pass play. And I try to beat him on the pass rush or whatever. They get the ball out quick. I'm running downfield, and this is why it popped into my head. He's yelling and screaming at me, setting a tone for the game. You bunch of stuff, rookie stuff. Again, I can't stay here. And I'm running down the field like 15, 20 yards. And now I'm like 20, 30 yards because I'm going across the field trying to take an angle of pursuit. And he's just MFing me from like 30, 40 yards away at this point. I was like, all right, this going to be a day. That play popped into my head when I talked about Vic, because that was my version, me yelling at Vic, of what he did to me that day. I was mad because Vic cost me a sack. Larry Allen was saying, hey, Rook, welcome to the NFL. So two different meanings behind it. But immediately when I told that story, I thought of the Larry Allen thing. So it's funny that you asked that question. No, as far as the best lineman, Larry Allen, Joe Thomas. I mean, if he's not, he's in the Hall of Fame. If he's not, he should be and will be soon. But I believe he already is. So Alan Faneca was another great one. But Larry's the one that stood out to me. I've never studying an offensive lineman the way I studied him, because I had to. Because he won the battle that first game. I was used to overpowering guys. I'd never played someone who was stronger than me, and he overpowered me, and he was exponentially stronger than me. So they were in our division. So when we played them a second time that year, I think the second to last game in San Fran, I came in with a completely different game plan. I did not exponentially do to him what he did to me the first game, but I exponentially played better, and I felt like got the upper hand that second day. I avoid the power game. I went speed rush. I went a bunch of other things. I stunted and I moved. And he was older, so he couldn't move as well. So I kind of used that against him at that point, where I was just a snot-nosed rookie. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, don't go anywhere. The Adam Carriker Show when we come back.
At CHI Health Clinic, we believe healthcare should be personal, because knowing your provider personally makes appointments more comfortable, more productive, and more meaningful to your overall health. Get matched with a primary care provider based on your personality and lifestyle using CHI Health Clinic's My Provider Match. Take the survey at myprovidermatch.com to find the right provider for you. Getting healthier starts by getting personal at CHI Health Clinic.
Hungry for something real? Come to HF Crave, Lincoln's favorite spot for burgers that are anything but basic. Locally sourced Nebraska beef, hand-cut fries, and bold flavors that'll make your taste buds cheer.
Mmm.
Whether you're craving the classics or ready to try something wild, they've got the burger that gets you. HF Crave. Fresh, local, craveable. Find them at 48th and Holdridge or order online at hfcrave.com.
I'm Kirk Herbstreit, and today I'm eating Raising Cane's.
Herbstreit's in the drive-thru again. Oh, hey, Kirk. What can I get you today?
I want a solid bench of 4 chicken fingers that are real difference makers. Crinkle cut fries with dynamic ridge patterns, Texas toast, and cane sauce with an air of smugness that comes from knowing you're the best. Now back to you, Todd.
So the usual.
Make Raising Cane's part of your game day lineup. One love.
This is Bill Mitchner, Executive Director of Lincoln Lighthouse. Did you know Lighthouse provides multiple programs for students such as one-on-one tutoring and mentoring, as well as pro-social skill exercises, while providing them a nourishing meal and a safe space during all months of the year, even during school breaks? Learn more or contribute to Lighthouse at lincolnlighthouse.org today.
Advanced Medical Imaging is hosting their 3rd annual Breast Cancer Awareness Walk on October 11th at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard. Hear inspiring stories from survivors, enjoy local food truck vendors, a live DJ, and other family-friendly activities as we unite to bring awareness about breast cancer. Check-in begins at 8:30 a.m. with the walk starting at 9. Register your team today for Advanced Medical Imaging's 3rd annual Breast Cancer Awareness Walk online at amimaging.com. Let's walk for those we've lost, for those still fighting, and for a future without breast cancer. MHC isn't a new company, just a new name. Moe's Moving is now Moe's Home and Commercial. Whether moving across town or across the state, MHC Moving has you covered, specializing in home, apartment, assisted, and independent living moves. MHC can handle your commercial moves as well. MHC Moving has 0 hidden fees. You'll never pay for same-day booking or be charged for stairs, heavy items, or elevator fees. Rates are the same Monday through Saturday, and you will never pay a truck or fuel surcharge. And they offer payment plans through PayPal. Call MHC Moving today at 402-853-7167 or go to mhcmoving.com.
Hi, everybody. Charlie Stone back again with Andy Goodyear of Honda of Lincoln. Andy, there are so many great things to talk about right now. Let's start with new and pre-owned vehicles.
Thanks, Charlie. Yeah, we're all excited those days of inventory shortages are behind us. Right now, we have more than 400 new Hondas to choose from and over 125 pre-owned with just about any make or model in stock.
I know certified pre-owned Hondas are a very important part of your dealership. Tell us about certified, Andy.
We always have a great selection of certified pre-owned Hondas in stock in like new condition, and they also come with a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty.
How about service?
You know, our amazing service department not only services Hondas, but we service just about any make, and we are one of the largest tire dealers in the state. Look us up the next time you need tires on your car.
Experience the best of the Honda of Lincoln way of doing business. 27th and Yankee Hill Road or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
We strive to help people get into home ownership. That is the American dream. Having something that you can go home at night and say, this is mine, is very important. The great thing about Remington Homes is affordability.
Bob Benish of Aspen Builders, talking about their exciting new division, Remington Homes, which makes the home building process easier.
The exciting thing about a Remington home is you get to choose your floor plan from predetermined floor plans. We give you a lot of choices, and you couple that with our great lot selection in all different areas. People do not want to be married to their house payment. They want to get a nice house with nice finishes in a great area for an affordable price. And that's what Remington Homes are all about.
Home building is easier with a Remington home from Aspen Builders at 423-6811. Online at remingtonlincoln.com. remingtonlincoln.com.
I can't believe I just scratched that car. Find my insurance card.
Dude, what do you have in this glove box? Ew, are these socks dirty?
Oh, forget about the socks. I need my insurance card.
Just pull it up on the State Farm mobile app.
But I can do that? Oh, hey, I can do that.
Yep, it's called service.
I can file a claim on here too?
Yeah, it's called service.
Whoa, I can call my agent too?
It's called service.
Call your local State Farm agent, Vinny Krikak, today at 402-474-1173.
Time for a new heating and cooling system? Get the options, brand, and efficiency that best fits your family and your home. Call Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Join LES at 6 p.m. Thursday, October 9th at the LES Operations Center to learn about the utilities' proposed 2026 budget and electric rates and share your input at the annual public meeting. Learn more at les.com.
This is the Adam Carriker Show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Boom! It is Jake Bogman here with you. Adam Carriker had to run a little bit early, but there's only a few minutes left in the show, and that is done by design. Adam didn't leave me a whole lot of time, which I think is fair because I got to get ready for Bach in the Black Shirt with Terrell coming up next. So stay tuned here right after the conclusion of this segment. We'll have Bach in the Black Shirt setting up. But I did want to finish up here with just a few thoughts from the Houston Christian game. Of course, a 59-7 blowout. Not a whole lot to kind of dive into and kind of get a whole lot of perspective on. I know in the post-game show I was listening to, they were ready to move on to Michigan week. I think most of us are, but I think there's a lot of there is a few tidbits that I think were interesting. One is that I just think the All Reds look pretty good, and a lot of fans over the years have thought that was the curse. Looks like Nebraska cleared that curse at least on Saturday. And I think they got a highlight out of it. Marquise Watson-Trent's flying tackle, as I'll call it, early in that game might be one that they put on reels for quite some time here. So, at least got that out of it. And then the other thing that I think was interesting, the most interesting maybe out of this game, was the backup running back position. We talked about it last week. What were they going to do? They had to kind of iron out a guy going into Michigan week. And it appears they did that. Now, I thought what they were going to do is give Mekhi Nelson a few carries, give Quentin Ives a few carries, give Isaiah Mosey a few carries and see kind of who's going, keep that battle rolling. It looks like at this point, Isaiah Mosey is your clear backup. Excuse me, not Mosey. Quentin Ives is your clear backup. 12 carries, 85 yards, and a touchdown there on Saturday. Had a good game. Nearly got as many carries as him, and of course, who they were keeping. It took out when they took out the first team offense. So, I think that was just something interesting to kind of take out of it. Mekhi Nelson did not play. Coach's decision. Not a whole lot to read into, I don't think there. So should be back as an option for Nebraska soon. We'll see. And then the other thing that you kind of look through there is that Isaiah Mosey, again, if you would have told me going into that game, Mosey or Nelson don't get a carry, I would have been shocked. But they didn't. Just about everybody on the running back depth chart did. Mosey, interestingly enough, still being used, even though he switched from wide receiver to running back, as a receiving threat. So if you say, well, I remember Mosey touching the ball. Well, he did. He got 3 receptions again for 26 yards. And it's interesting because you look at his total now on the year. He still just has that 1 carry for -2 yards. He had 1 carry that was called back a couple weeks ago. So there is that. But when you on the receiving side, they're starting to get him involved there. 7 carries for 93 yards there officially. So even though I think he moved to running back for an opportunity to play, and I think he's getting some playing time that you would expect or maybe want as a true freshman early on, still looking for him to be primarily used as a receiving threat. And Quentin Ives appears to be the man that they've narrowed in as their top backup running back. So that test, of course, looked good. Last couple of games, the test gets much bigger, as it does for every position against Michigan this week. We'll get you ready for that Michigan game, talk about what's going on in college football as well as the NFL. Coming up next year on Bach and the Black Shirt on 93.7 The Ticket.
Imagine starting your day with a computer glitch that leaves you feeling stuck, frustrated, and unable to get your work done. You have 1,000,001 things to get done today, and waiting for the tech issue to solve itself isn't one of them. It's time to let Hamilton handle the tech so you don't have to. We help businesses across the state spend more time on what they do best and less time frustrated with office technology. As